Hey,
Hi,
hey, Lucas, how are you?
fine. How are you?
I am well, thank you. You're over in France.
Yes.
Are you being affected by any of these fires we see on the TV?
I'm. We are careful. We are We are thankfully spared by these fires in our part of France. But yeah, in the southwest, it's a different story.
Yeah,
But sometimes there are a few days where the smoke got almost to here. I mean, we are in central France, and yeah, it's a weird atmosphere with the burning smoke everywhere.
right. And it looks like we've got Nicholas with us too.
Yes.
Hi,
Hello, how are
how
you?
are you? I'm good. Doing well, and you?
I am well. Ah, there you are. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you as well.
So let's we could just jump right in since we only have like half
Yeah.
an hour or less. For those not familiar, and let me backtrack for a second. One of the things I like doing about this show is I come across bands that I never would have come across my radar, I don't think, if I hadn't, somebody hadn't pitched them or done whatever for the show. So when I was prepping, I never know what I'm going to get. And when I got to this, I am blown away, especially the intro, not even the intro, the groove to, I'm trying to think what the song is here, Above My Head. That pulls you in and it's like hypnotic and I don't even know what's it. I think hypnotic is the best word.
Thanks.
It drew me into the record pretty good.
I guess
Wow.
that's a good opener. So that means
So anyway, now that I've said all that, for those not familiar with you guys, tell us who you are. Who is Untitled with drums?
we are a five-piece band from a town called Clermont-Ferrand in France, in central France. We've been at it since m- almost 12 years. That seems like a lot, but we this is only our second full-length LP, which is coming out on August 21st. And we I guess we play some kind of modern alternative rock with a lot of post-hardcore influences blended in. And I'm not we are generally not really good at presenting ourselves, so I don't know. I don't know
That's
what else
fine.
to add for now.
So we're 3 days away, right, from the release of the record.
Yes.
How exciting is that? And what's been the early on feedback?
Um, we've got very positive feedback from our friends right now, and we can't wait to see how the general public the rest of the world will receive it.
So when you were writing this record, did you intentionally or did you purposely try not to write the previous one? Does that make sense? Because you still want to be Untitled with drums, but you don't want to write the record previous. Was that something
I
intentional
guess
or organic?
I guess it's mostly organic, and probably there are a few decisions in the writing process that we kind of consciously chose to follow a few of our influences that we wanted to explore, but it was mostly organic. And from at least from my point of view, which is there is a main songwriter in the band who is Martin, the bass player and singer, who wasn't available today, unfortunately. And he comes up with mostly the songs mostly finished, and then we together in the rehearsal room we work on them, and we had arrangements, and sometimes the songs end up in very different places than what they started. But anyway, to answer your question, I guess you would agree with me because we pretty much we pretty much all agree on this process. It was mostly organic, but at the same time, we consciously tried to, I guess we tried to move a little to in a different directions.
Okay.
Mhm. Also, maybe we could add also the work of the sound engineer. On the previous album, we recorded with Serge Moratel in Switzerland, and he really had a lot of influence on our recording, or not on the choice of the songs, but mostly the all the things with recording. And
He left his mark on the recording, basically. That's why we went for it. We went with him.
we really love to work with him, but also to try something new was something we wish to do.
Okay.
So we went with a different sound engineer called Cyril Gachet, who was awesome.
In Sweden?
He
No,
Sergei in France.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't have the money yet to go to record in Sweden, but that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
that would be
That
cool.
would be.
All right. So Made Flesh is described as a record designed to present Untitled with drums, not as you might expect. What expectations did you feel compelled to challenge within yourselves?
I'm I'm not sure. I don't really know. Just I guess just doing. It links back to your previous question, trying to move a little in a different direction because it's been almost I think 6 years since the first record because we were very slow at writing
Right.
and at moving and recording. So I guess this ties into your previous question where we didn't want to do something that's completely exactly the same as the first record, and generally I enjoy when bands and artists surprise me a little, and from one record to another they move in different directions. So I guess that's it. I don't know if Nicola you want to you had something to add.
Mm, no, I'm not very inspired to answer more, to give
Yeah,
more.
it's a hard question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you guys have been called like heirs to like Failure and Quicksand and even Caved In, whose heaviness often comes from texture and emotional weight. What parts of that lineage do you feel is genuinely embedded in your DNA, and where do you deliberately break from it?
Um, I guess something about doing writing songs that are both melodic and kind of radio friendly, almost radio friendly in a way that this we're not playing really esoteric music, but all these bands that you quoted and that we love and we quote as influences, I think they strike this balance between being accessible and working a lot on textures and soundscapes at the same time to achieve something that that has depth, I guess you would say, and that's something that grabs you in at first because it's catchy, and then when you listen to it again, you pick out the details and the many textural work they've put, and I guess that's what we've been trying to do since the beginning, I guess, and to there's even some very specific tricks that we try to pick up from and tricks and compositional techniques from some of these men that we try to pick up. That's part of the conscious decisions that we made that I mentioned earlier, and that's what I for failure we've always been inspired by how they handle dissonance and they write sometimes really weird songs with really weird chord progressions and arpeggios, and we love that, and that's something that's I think that maybe you may probably pick that up in our songs.
How do you know when it's too weird? Is there a is
That's
there
a
like a guideline or something? I can't go
that's a
that
great
far.
I that's a
It's
great
it's a
question.
kind
I
of
don't know.
feeling.
It's instinctual. Sorry, that you wanted to say?
Yeah, maybe it's a kind of feeling. That's really something that you will feel if it's weird. That's something you say, oh, where this music is bringing me now. It's really just transporting somewhere. There is this kind of feeling.
Mm.
Do
It's
you
always a balancing act because it's always a balancing act between being weird enough to be interesting and not too weird just to just scare off anyone everyone, I guess.
well with along with that then, do you ever feel like you've some of your fans may not take the journey with you, or do you not concern yourself with it?
Mm.
I'm we've when we sorry just go ahead if you want.
Yeah, I think we we will maybe try this kind of things, but we also keep simple techniques. We don't explore too much like big complexity in music. We try to keep original songs, original work, and not to make it too complex. Maybe because we simply can't do it that much complex rhythm or chords, but also because we try keep as simple as possible, or not. It's not something we want to explore that way. It's just more. Sometimes with just simplicity, you can also explore things.
Okay.
In,
Is
in,
there
And
a
I
message?
just wanted,
Oh, sorry, go
so,
ahead.
sorry, I just wanted to add regarding your question. We try, we don't, we try at maximum not to think about the reception when we write music.
mm,
So it's because in my opinion, and I guess in everyone in the band's opinion, it shouldn't come into the equation when you write for yourself, basically. Which is there's a contradiction here and there because then you release the music and the more people like it, the better. So there's an inherent contradiction in there. But if people don't like the direction we're going in for a reason, then we are fine with that. That's the necessary consequence of this approach.
Okay. Is there something you want your fans to take away from, like an overarching message after listening to Made Flesh as a whole?
I don't really know. I don't really have an answer that quick that comes to my mind. Just um, I just maybe just notice the progression. What we feel is the progression from the first record and from the previous our previous work. I guess that's all.
Okay.
mm. But also during live, I like also to see the reaction of the audience. Um, to s- as Lucas say, I don't pay too much attention about what during the composing process, but during the live show, I like to see how people will react. Sometimes it's not unexpected, and so I like sometimes to have more control about that. Like to say, oh, maybe if we write this way, audience will have this kind of reaction. Um, yeah, these kind of things.
So, when you're writing, are you at all writing with the stage in mind, like how it's going to come across on the stage, or are you writing the song for the song's sake and then kind of, I don't know, adapting it
I
to the
guess
stage?
I think we wrote a little bit more with for the song's sake this time. Try not to restrict ourselves because we had an idea that we wouldn't know how to transcribe to convey in a live setting, and maybe it's something we did more this time around for this record and as well for the songs from the EP that we released last year compared to the earlier stuff from back in the from the first LP.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a bit more risky, and at the same time, I it's also more interesting. I guess it's more freeing, and it's a yeah. I like to take that risk anyway, I guess.
I agree.
Okay, I didn't want to cut you off. Sorry, I didn't mean to pause there. We had a little bit of a delay. What was it like sequencing this record? Because you want to create sort of like a journey and a narrative, right, with ebbs and flows. Was it difficult to sequence it?
It's always a very difficult decision, even though some of us in the band care more about the track listing and the song order than others. I mean, I think Nicolas, you didn't really pay
Yeah.
attention to. You didn't.
Mm.
Maybe you wanted to just not to to influence it too much, but I know that me and Remy, the drummer, we were very careful about it, and we had it's gen instinctively we generally had a good idea. We generally start with which song should begin should start the record, which song should end. We've also sequenced it with the vinyl format in mind, with a gap in the middle in 10 tracks, and like because this is something I'm not a huge vinyl nerd. The drummer Remy is, and but I really like the old school vinyls where the gap in the middle corresponds to some kind of pause, and which is something that we've tried to do with the song Space, which is the last song on the first side, and it's kind of a like a break before things start again,
Right.
and the song pickups. Like the classic example would be Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, where I think it ends with the instrumental song with the gospel part, which I forgot the name, and then the second side begins with money, and that's good sequencing for me. So yeah, it's we tried a few permutations for the other tracks, and this I there's always things you always think, oh, maybe we should have swapped a few
Right.
songs or not, but I mean, at some point it's you just have
And
to go with it, and
I think it's a lost art
but
though,
yeah,
or a
we
dying art, because everybody's single focused or not
yes,
really worried
very
about
very
that.
much, and that's I mean, I said that me and Remy and I were the most careful about it, I think, and we are both very album focused guys. We generally listen to the albums in full.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zed you do it as much, and Martin the bass player also the I don't think he does it as much as we do, and I'm also really I mean, I quoted Pink Floyd. I personally really enjoy progressive rock and progressive metal, and these bands tend to generally think a lot about this kind of stuff, and this influenced me to pay attention to this.
Okay. So lastly then, if fans want to find you or listeners want to find you, can you give us all your socials and all that kind of stuff?
Well, look for Untitled with drums pretty much everywhere in where bands tend to to hang around, like
Yeah.
classic Instagram, Bandcamp. We don't have TikTok yet, and I don't think we will because we're too old for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, YouTube, of course, and uh, if you misspell the name, you probably your computer will probably correct it anyway, so that's fine. Which is something that tends to happen, especially for French audience.
Right.
I and yeah, just I guess can't wait to. I hope we will be. Are you based in the US?
Yes, I'm in Richmond,
Yeah.
Virginia.
Okay. I hope we'll be able to play in the US one day or another. That would be a dream for us, which would probably cost us a lot of money, and but we don't care. That's part of the
Right.
game, and
Well,
that's a good way to spend money. And we don't have a few in Europe. We only have a few shows. A few upcoming shows in France up until the end of the year, but we will probably and be a bit more active next year.
okay.
So I hope we can get good spots in good cool festivals in Europe,
Yeah, that'd be great.
and I hope we'll see you there, and thank you for your attention, I
Oh
Yeah.
guess.
yeah. Actually, I wasn't BSing earlier. I really dig it, and that line, that riff, whatever it is so damn hypnotic. I mean, you're
Wow.
Thank
sucked
you.
in. Yeah, dig it totally. Thank you for taking the
Good
time. I
opener.
appreciate
That's
it.
good opener from what we just said. That's probably a good decision.
Yeah. Thank you for taking the time. Good luck with the record on Friday. I wish
Thank
you
you
nothing
very
but
much,
the
Chris.
best, and hopefully we'll see you on this side
Thank you.
somewhere. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. If I can figure out how to turn it off. There we go.